All right, so in this video, we'll be talking more about quadric surfaces. Here are 3 examples. Feel free to work them out on your own first, and then you can check your answers. Let's take a look at the first surface. So we have 4x squared plus 9y squared plus 4z equals to 36. Well, first thing you want to do is make this number 1. So we're going to divide both sides by 36. So you'll have 4 divided by 36 x squared plus 9 over 36 y squared plus 4 z squared over 36 equals to 1. So you kind of want to write it in this form, which is more likely a standard form. Now, what we're going to do is simplify these coefficients right here. So 4 over 36, that's 9. So we have x squared over 9 plus 9 over 36, we get y squared over 4 plus, again, 4 over 36, we have z squared over 9 equals to 1. Now, again, if you want to rewrite these numbers as 3 square, 2 square, 3 square, you can also do that. So you know how to draw this on the 3-dimensional space. Now, since all of our terms are squared equal to a number, then there's plus sign between them. This is going to be an ellipsoid. So that's our surface. It's an ellipsoid. Let's go ahead and see how to sketch this. So we know the center of our ellipsoid is going to be 0, 0, 0. So if you were to sketch it, it would look something like this. I'm going to do my best to sketch this for you. Let's take a look at this. This is our x, y, and z. So the center is right here. Now, I'm also going to draw the negative x's as well. So here's your negative x, here is negative z, and here we have negative y-axis. So now let's take a look at how we're going to draw this. So if you kind of make z go to 0, you have an ellipse in the xy plane. So in the x direction, you're going to go 3 units. In the y direction, you're going to go 2 units. So let's draw that. So let's suppose this is 3 in the x direction, and then 3 over here will be negative 3. The y direction, we traveled 2 units, so maybe up to here and here. Yeah, not so much up to scale, so just do your best to sketch this. Now, in the now if you let either x or y equal to 0, you can now get this. Let's say y is 0, so we have x squared over 9 plus z squared over 9 equals to 1. We get a circle of radius 3. So in the z direction, we're going to go 3 units. So I'm going to go ahead and label this to be 3 and this to be 3. So 3 and negative 3. All right, now we're going to connect them. So now in the xy plane, we have ellipse. So we're going to connect its vertices. So in the xy plane, we're going to get this. So this is the back of the ellipse. And this is the front view. You can kind of think of it that way. So that's in the xy plane. Now in yz plane, so looking at the vertices in the yz, we're going to connect them. So we will have this right here from here. So again, do your best to come up with this picture. And then here's the back of it. So sorry for the drawing. It's not super well done, but at least I hope you can see how I'm connecting this. So this is the back of this. So we'll try to just erase that. So here is how it's going to look like. And now in the xz plane, we're going to have another ellipse. So that's going to be connecting these vertices from the x to the z. So we have this and that, and then from this to that. All right, so there you have, this is the ellipsoid we're looking at. So hopefully you have an idea of how to draw this. Now our next surface is going to be this one. Now here we have y is equal to x squared plus y squared. If you look at the traces in the xy plane or yz plane or xz plane, you'll see you get parabolas or circles. So we're going to have a paraboloid. So that's the name of this surface. Now it's going to be a paraboloid along this axis, y-axis. So here's our x, y, and z. So a three-dimensional space. So if you plug in 0, you know that 0, 0, 0 will be a point on this parabola or paraboloid. So right here, that's the point 0, 0, 0. It's going to be along the y-axis. So if you think of z being 0, you have y equal x squared. So y equal x squared, it's going to be this parabola. So let's try to draw that. That's the parabola, y equals x squared. And then y equals z squared is going to be another parabola. So that's the one that's a little difficult to draw. And then if you just let y be constant, you create circles. So we're going to have these circles tracing to create these paraboloid. So that's our surface. Hopefully you get the idea how to draw this. So this is our surface. Here's our last example. Now for this one, you should notice that your z variable is missing. So it's going to be a cylinder. So if one of the variable is missing, we know it's going to be a cylinder. Now we have a specific ways to draw them. Now this one is going to be a parabolic cylinder because it's going to be a cylinder created by parabolas. So it's a parabolic cylinder. Now the way I know that is because you have y squared equals to, well, x plus y squared. So y squared is going to create those parabolas, and then you will be generating a cylinder along the z-axis. So let's take a look at how this is going to come out. So if you think about it this way, you have x is equal to, subtract y squared on both sides, y squared plus 4. So we know that x equals y squared is a parabola. So negative y squared is just the reflected one. So imagine something like this. And now if I let x y equals 0 and z equals 0, I have this point 4, 0, 0. So it's going to pass through this point by setting y and z to 0. Now, instead of the parabola facing this way, it's going to be facing the opposite way. So it's going to be a parabola this way, like this. So something like that. Now, I'm just going to try to draw it in such a way so you can see how this looks like. So perhaps something like that. It's going to be parallel to the z-axis. So you can also think of that. And just trace a few more to create this cylinder. So here's another parabola up here. Here's the back. And then just create a couple more right up here. And that's the back. So hopefully you can see where this is going. So this is what we're creating along the z-axis, a cylinder. So I'm going to try to just connect them and give you a better look to this picture. So something like that. And then here we have the back of the cylinder. So of course, this is going to continue on in both positive and negative z-axis. But just to give you an idea how this looks like, that is the shape created by parabolas.